Hello, hello, hello. You have tuned into another episode of Quick Wits with the Chosen Few Financial Empowerment and Wellness Workshops. I'm Cassandra Edwards, the founder and host of Quick Wits, and I am here today with Miss Heather. How are you today, lady?
I am doing good. Thank you so much for this invite. This is exciting. Thank you.
Of course, it's always exciting for me because every episode is different, and you already know I love me some Heather. Okay, so I'm just excited to have you here today. So we are here to talk about your business, Healing with Heather. You want to tell us about what it is that you do? You know, I know what you do, but I want them to know what you do.
Right. Thank you for that. So I am a grief recovery specialist, and I received my training through the Grief Recovery Institute, which was founded in the late 70s, early 80s when the founder lost his son. And the reason why he created it was because he had seen so many individuals that were trying to help him, and he realized everybody was speaking to him through his brain and logistically, and he said, you know what, my brain is functioning, it's my heart that's broken.
I understand. Yes. So do you find that I guess healing and grief just a lot that people just don't know about it, or it seems like one of those things where it's like, okay, we all know that death is a part of life. Mm-hmm. I think I heard you refer to yourself one time before as a death doula. What does that mean? And what's your specialty with this?
All right. So let me break that down into two questions, because that was two questions. One, that grief is not just caused from death. So a lot of people come and see me because they have recently experienced a death. And when we dive into their lifeline, they see that they've had a number of issues throughout their life that have caused grief. That's question number one. Question number two, what is a death doula? A death doula is someone who can work with a family, work with an individual, and we talk about what arrangements are necessary in the dying process. How can you have all your documents done? How can we arrange for a service? What are some things that you want to make sure are done and conveyed to those who are left behind and living? And what would you like to have done with your body? So there are multiple options available. And now that I am a funeral director apprentice, I can handle everything from the time that a person's diagnosed all the way through the funeral arrangements, through the dying process, the actual funeral service, as well as the grief recovery afterwards for those who are left behind. So I handle the full gamut now in helping individuals who are facing this very difficult time.
And that's just so important. You know, I think a lot of times we look at, personally, I pay attention to, all the steps that are involved in the processes and the phases. Like, it could be something as simple as you had a pet pass away. And that's absolutely devastating in itself. I've lost pets and I've lost family members. One of my cousins just buried her mom last week, and when you realize just how much energy it takes out of you, and just knowing that you can have someone talk you through that process, and what do you find to be the case? Do you find I'm sorry, I got a phone ringing somewhere, I think. But do you find that a lot of people are like trying to find their own way and figure it out? What does that look like the first time you hear from someone that's going through that process?
Most of the time, the individual is hung up somewhere in the grieving process. And so that process will attach to the person that died. And grief is typically one of two things. It is the realization that the relationship you wish you had never existed, and there's nothing that now can be done about that. Or it was a fabulous relationship, and now that relationship has ended, and you don't know what to do with it. So it's always uncommunicated emotional responses. And one of the things that I like to work with, especially with the individual who is dying, I love to work with them, because one of the things I do not hear anyone who is passing away is, I sure wish I worked longer. I sure wish I made a whole lot more money. And I sure wish, fill in the blank. The reality is the reality is that there's nothing that you can take with you. Period. I don't care how much money you got, how many toys you got, you can't take it with you. It ain't happening.
That's right.
And number two, all the things that we need are provided to us at no cost. Our body, our environment. Those are things that we really should take good care of, because that is the only thing that we're going to have when we begin to the dying process. And those are the things that people start throwing a lot of money at in an attempt to try to improve upon when it's too late.
Wow. So that's powerful. It sounds like it's a lot more about life than it is about death, what it is.
It really is. And I will say that some people get frustrated with me because I'm always like, so what? What about that? Why are you, why, what? Because we have so much noise coming into us, especially today. We have so much noise that is just overwhelming our senses, all of our senses. And what happens is we have nowhere to put our emotions. We have nowhere to dump our feelings. And we're so frustrated or depressed or full of anxiety that we don't know where to put it. And a lot of that, I want to go back to how we are socialized from a young age to understand grief. And I want to pay homage to your part about a death of a pet is often the very first experience with death that we have. And that can be something as a young child, and your well-meaning parents may have said, we're really sorry that your pet died. Let's go replace them with another one. And
not a realistic way of dealing with it.
No, because now you have this pet that you've lost. You haven't had a moment to pay homage or grieve or cry or just be lonely without the pet for a while to adjust to that pet no longer being there. And now you have this new one that there's this expectation of, well, you're not like my other one.
Right. We're really going to have another conversation, because I do want to keep this short, but you're touching on some things that I think are really important conversations to have. And I definitely look forward to having another longer interview with you. But as we wrap this one up, do you have anything new going on with your business that you wanted to make sure that we put out here on this recording?
One of the things that I do, Cassandra, I'm an officiant, which means I lead a lot of funerals. I also help out with a lot of other life celebrations, one being weddings. And I do officiate weddings. I certainly enjoy that. And the couple always get a couple extra bonus counseling sessions while we're pulling all the wedding stuff together too. So that's always a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's always good to catch up with you, Heather. We could talk for hours, and I'm sure we will real soon.
I know. It's great catching up with you.
Yes. Well, let me go ahead and put your contact information up here. If you want to get more information, get in touch with Heather. And trust me, you do, because if nothing else, you want to kind of understand how to work through some of the issues that you may have been dealing with from childhood or new transitions that you're dealing with now. You want to reach out to her on www.healingwithheather.com, or phone number is 803-900-4751. And if you want to send her an email, you can also email her at heather@healingwithheather.com. Heather, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure talking to you, lady.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Talk to you real soon, okay? Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. If you need to get in touch with me to schedule your Quick Wits interview, you just want to get in touch with me by email at chosenfew.cadwards@gmail.com. And you can see that scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to this channel for all the updates for all the new Quick Wits interviews, as well as my discovery interviews where we get into more detail with other like-minded professionals. Thanks again, Heather. I really appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.